What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about what Jim Ryan said about the PlayStation Games Pass. Now, I know a lot of people were running with this last week. I wanted to also talk about it. I saw it when it first came out, and I was like, holy dear Jesus. So let me first say this, okay? I want to be very transparent on where I stand with PlayStation because I am a big PlayStation guy. I own the PS5. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not anti-Xbox. I'm pretty much just where the games are. PlayStation delivers phenomenal games. I'm there. When Xbox delivers phenomenal games, I'm always there. When Nintendo delivers phenomenal games, I'm there as well. Okay, want to make that clear. I also do want to make it clear that I do, lean, if we're talking about like our political spectrum in gaming, I do lean more PlayStation, but I'm definitely very willing, and I always have, called them out. And one thing I do want to call Jim Ryan out for that a lot of people have said, I mean, this is becoming more like a meme on Twitter, is like he's flip-flopping everything they're saying. Remember the whole they believe in generations thing? Not true, right? The fact that there's not going to be a generational game for PS5 until 2022. The fact that they're going to make PS4 games for the next couple of years. All these things are very anti what they've been saying for literally almost a year, okay? So, again, I'm a fan of Sony, but I'm very willing, and I will, and I have, called them out. For this, it's actually kind of the same thing. He literally said months ago that he doesn't see a Games Pass as viable, that they are not going to put, which, by the way, I agree with. And I've said, and if you guys know the answer to this, by the way, always, feel free to answer it. I don't know how Microsoft makes money from Games Pass. Now, okay, they have tens and tens of millions of people that use it. Okay, so I get that. I get they get however much money, depending on the situation, per month from these people. But when you're spending, I understand that, but let me just say this. When you're spending $500 million, let's say, which is the reported, how much, they've already spent that much on Halo Infinite, and then you put that game, so say the game is like $600, $700, $800 million by the time it's done, okay? Which is, by the way, it's not even sane. You have to be insane in order to do that. And you put that game out, and it's on Games Pass. It's free. You're making zero. So you had to spend $500, $600, $700 million on the budget for that, but you are making zero money from people buying the disc version or buying the $60 or $70 version of the game. You're only getting the money from Games Pass. And if you're doing that, and so, okay, that's just one. You're doing that with every developer, right? Gears, like literally anything they have. The triple or the quadruple A team of initiative, right? That's making the quadruple A game. If that's $500, $600, $700 million, same thing, okay? When you buy Bethesda for $7.5 billion, how do you make that all back? Okay, so that's what I'm not like attacking them. It's a phenomenal consumer-friendly thing. I just don't understand how they make money for it. And when Jim Ryan says that it's literally impossible to make that work for us, I get that. You used to think the same thing. Naughty Dog, say it costs several hundred millions of dollars to make The Last of Us Part 2, and then you give it out to everybody for free. Well, are you making any money from that, right? You have to make sure that your Games Pass is making enough money to cover for all that stuff. Okay, the PS Plus collection, I would argue, is the best of both ways, is the best that they can do, I would honestly assume, at this moment. Okay, so all of that has been in the past. Remember, he literally has said that he doesn't see it as possible. He doesn't see it possible working for their current situation. He doesn't see that as a sustain. Actually, I think that was the word. He doesn't see it as something that he actually could sustain into the future. But when asked about it over the, or like later last week, his answer was actually surprising. He said, there's actually news to come, but just not today. We have PlayStation Now, which is our subscription service, and that is available in a number of markets. So, look, some people really love PlayStation Now. I have a close friend that I talked on PlayStation almost daily, and we play games, and he plays games on his own too. He loves PlayStation Now. He's played actually dozens and dozens and dozens of games on it. Okay, he really likes it. I have other friends that hate it. Okay, so it's mixed. I don't think it has the I think the best way of saying it is it doesn't have the universal praise like, say, Xbox Games Pass has. Okay, now I've always thought that it's possible if you somehow absorbed PlayStation Now into PS Plus, because like so again, I'm a big PlayStation guy. I have this channel, right? I mean, I cover a lot of stuff, and even more specifically, I cover a lot of PlayStation stuff. I don't have PlayStation Now, okay? So I can't even talk about my own personal experiences. I tried it. Remember when it first came out and it really wasn't like good at all? That's when I tried it, and it didn't work for me. I also didn't have back then. My internet couldn't even support what PlayStation Now needed in order to have it work. So that was my only personal experience with it. But I have always said for the last several years, just have that go into PS Plus. So if I buy PS Plus, which I do, or I have a yearly membership, just include, maybe you have to up the price a little bit, but include PlayStation Now, and then you have all of those additional benefits. Now, obviously, and I'm not saying PlayStation Now is in the perfect spot right now. Obviously, it needs things to improve. But I mean, they did that first. PlayStation Now came out before Games Pass. Okay, so really, PlayStation had a subscription service like Games Pass before Games Pass even existed. Now, I'm not saying it's better, because I really don't think actually it is. I think Games Pass is miles better. It's just interesting. I think a lot of people, and again, like for the memes, for the jokes, went with the whole, Jim Ryan literally flops on everything he ever says. I agree with that. I think the messaging of PlayStation has been insanely confusing and all over the place over the last year. It's actually been really messed up. And again, that comes from a PlayStation guy. I just don't think they've done a good job. But with this, I'm not 100% sold on him. I don't think he's absolutely like hinting at literally a PlayStation Games Pass, okay? He really could, I think, just be hinting at, we're gonna really make PlayStation Now something special. And honestly, like, yes, everybody wants them to have a Games Pass. Everybody kind of wants Games Pass, and Microsoft has even said so as much. Like, Games Pass will probably one day, whether or not Microsoft keeps doing consoles or not, Games Pass will live on. Microsoft will probably have a Games Pass on PlayStation, on Nintendo, right? I really think that'll happen one day in the next, 5-10 years. I really, really do. Does that kind of stop Microsoft from doing consoles? Yeah, it kind of does. I don't think you do Games Pass on competing systems while also having your own system, because at that point, if you can play everything on PC, I know it's like an affordable thing. I'm not sold basically on Microsoft constantly continuing being in a console thing. I really see PlayStation really doing it kind of the longest term. But that's an aside. I think when you're in a situation where PlayStation is, when you already have a service, again, you can judge PlayStation Now however you want, but when you already have a service, I don't think you're going to drop it and say, yeah, you know what, we're planning a PlayStation Games Pass to rival Xbox. It's like, you're going to make PlayStation Now try to rival it, right? You're going to have that be as good as it can be. You're not going to completely drop what you have and create a brand new thing that directly attacks your competitor. You know what I mean? So that's, to me, I read it more as that. I read it more as like, hey, we have PS Now, and maybe he's saying like we're going to do a PS Now 2.0. Like, we're going to really take it to the next level. Because remember, there was actually rumors for many, many months leading into the PS5 that it would be included with PS Plus. Now, it hasn't happened yet, but there were a lot of rumors online that was going to happen. I do believe it. I really do believe that's going to happen. And I think that's honestly what he's hinting at most. I don't necessarily think he's hinting at a PlayStation Games Pass. Again, do they need one? That's up to you. It is definitely nice when you have games like Doom and all this stuff that appears on Xbox Games Pass where you don't have to pay. The Bethesda stuff is obviously really, really cool. And then any first-party games, just being able to get them for free. I'm not saying Games Pass is a bad thing. I really love it. I think it's a phenomenal service. Again, very consumer-friendly. I have no idea how it works in terms of them making money from it, because all I can see is them spending billions to make not billions, okay? So we'll have to see how everything goes overall, but very exciting. Honestly, very exciting to see whatever Sony can try to do to kind of compete with it. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think that they're making a PlayStation Games Pass? Do you think Jim Ryan is just talking about upgrading basically PS Now? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel, have the bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. If you guys haven't followed me in any of the other social media stuff, I have a second channel, Podcast Now Plus, if you guys want to subscribe there. I have a Discord server if you guys want to join, and I have a Twitter, Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter username, okay, if you guys want to follow me over there as well. All three of those, the links for them are in the description below, okay? Thank you all so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.